Okay, this is going to be a pretty simple video on how to change the language of Dead Space 1 to English. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, hopefully this works, right? Well, if you're like me and you got the game from wherever, like Origin or some website, the language isn't right and you don't know how to change it. And I've spent a lot of time, or probably an hour, maybe 2 hours, trying to figure out how to do this. I've looked at online tutorials, none of them helped because they always skipped certain sections, it seemed, and I always got left behind. So and yes, I am recording this on a phone, by the way, so be thankful the video isn't like this the whole time and you're like, what the hell's going on, you know what I mean? So, alright. First step is to go into My Computer or the File Explorer. If you are on Windows, I think it's Windows 7, 8, or 8.1, you're probably used to these little icons down here. The one that's shaped like a folder. You click that and it brings up the contents of this computer. That would be the hard drive that that Windows is installed on, the content hard drive, or all the different hard drives and CD drives that are connected to the computer. For the most part, it's going to be different for every machine. I have all these hard drives connected to my machine, but you want to focus on the one where Windows is installed because that's where you're going into. That's where all of your settings and stuff are going to be. But before we go in there, we want to go to View. It's an option on the top left. And then when you click that, you've got a lot of different options here, but you want to go to where it says hidden items. You want to make sure this box is checked. For most people, that box will be unchecked because I guess Microsoft does not trust you enough to go into or make changes to certain folders that may be important or that they think shouldn't be changed. Then once you make sure that's checked, you want to go to where it says local disk C. That's mine. That's where Windows is installed. You can tell because Windows little logo is floating over this hard drive. So you want to click on this, or double click rather. You want to click where it says users. You want to go into that folder, and then you want to go to your whatever the account that you're logged in on and that you're playing games and making installations. That's the one you want to go into. Do not go under default or public because the certain folders may not show up there. So you want to click on your main account name, and then you want to go to where it says app data. You can tell that this is supposed to be a hidden folder because it's kind of blurred out a little bit. It doesn't look the same as the rest. You click app data, and then you've got 3 more options. You want to go to local, and then you want to go to Electronic Arts, and then you want to double click on Dead Space. That's the game we're making changes to. And from here you just change the language. Oops. Actually, you know what? No, we make no changes because this folder is completely empty, and this is where a lot of the tutorials fail because they don't bother to tell you there's a step that you need to make sure you take before attempting to do this. So I'm actually going to make this pretty simple here. We're going to X out of this. And the trick is you've got to run the game first. That's right, you want to run the game and then you want to make a change within the game settings to basically get it to create a settings text document in the hard drive. And as you can see, this is not my native language at all. So you're going to have to basically navigate through the menu with a different language, okay? And once this starts to flash like this, you can just hit the enter button. Once you do that, then you've got different options here. And I'm going to start from the top. So I think it's, the third option from the top, that's the one you want to click because it brings up it brings up the different options. And then it's the 4th option from the top. Click that one. Now I chose this option because it was the easiest one to identify, but you can change anything about the game that you want. I'm just saying, it's just easier for me to tell, okay, this is resolution. So as you can see, it's set to this. We're going to change it to 1080p. And make sure you leave this highlighted and then hit the enter button. It's going to switch over, do its thing, and now you've got to switch yes or no. Yes is always going to be the top answer. Alright, so now we should have that save file. You want to hit the escape button to take us back to the main screen, and then you want to hit the bottom. This is obviously exit to Windows. Click on that. Remember, yes is going to be the top answer. Okay, now let's go back to that file folder and see if it's in there. Remember, click on My Computer or File Explorer or whatever. Go to wherever Windows is installed. Go into Users. Go into your username. Go into App Data, the hidden folder, and then go to Local, and then Electronic Arts, and then Dead Space. And last but not least, look at that. Voila, we have our settings document in here. Now you want to open this one up, and now we've got all of our different values and different options that we can change. Now as you can see, this is another spot where you may get lost, so you want to follow me here. There is no language line here. There's no line for language or local. They might say, okay, just find the local line. Well, there is no local option in here. So we need to create one. And as you can see, this is all alphabetical order. And as we already know, L comes after G and before M. So we will just create a line by basically clicking the G line here. Hit the enter button. It creates a space. And then we'll type in local space, the equal sign, space, EN for English. And then that should be all we have to do. So we hit File, and then we hit Save. Then we'll close this window. Oh yeah, close this one too. Let's run the game, and let's see what happens. And we're actually going to test and see if the audio is in English as well, because it scared me at first. Oh wait, yep, we definitely want English. And see, that's what should have come up regardless of whether or not it was purchased in England or Russia, wherever. The great guys at EA, I've got to tell you. So now we've got Dead Space. As you can see, the text is in English. Awesome. Let's go ahead and start a new game. Yes, I am recording this on a cell phone, by the way, so just bear with me. I mean, I could be like the iPhone people and have the video all jacked up like this. It's all, you know, recorded wrong. But no. At least it does 720, or no, this phone actually does 4K video. But look at that, it's in English. How about that? So it worked. And I'm taking all the credit for this, by the way, because nobody else bothered to go into detail on how to make sure or how to get to the settings folder. They all talked about a settings file, but the file was never there. We have to actually go in and make a change to the game settings before it actually creates a setting file. And it should be common sense in most cases, but I'm a fucking retard, so yeah, it's kind of weird. Hold on a second.
How many times you watched that thing?
Well, look at
Guess
that.
you really miss her. Don't worry, we're almost there. You'll be able to look her up once we're on board. Sounds like you do have a lot of catching up to do.
Alright, everyone, we're here. Sinking our orbit now.
Well, how about that? It's in English. So there you go. If you got any questions, just put it in the comments below. I will be glad to help out in any way I can. I don't know if this same exact, I don't know if this method will work for Dead Space 2, but I also have that game, and if it is different, I will probably have a secondary video for that one as well.
Impressive.
The USG issue.
Good luck.
Biggest planet